A profound transformation swept across the globe in the 18th and 19th centuries, forever altering the fabric of human society. This was the Industrial Revolution. Before we delve into the heart of this revolution, let's transport ourselves back to a time when the world was vastly different. Picture Great Britain in the early 18th century, the birthplace of the Industrial Revolution. The landscape was dotted with small farming villages and bustling market towns. The economy was primarily agrarian, with the majority of people living off the land, tilling the soil and tending to livestock. Artisans, skilled workers who crafted goods by hand, played a significant role in this economy. From blacksmiths hammering out horseshoes to weavers creating intricate textiles, their work was labor-intensive, and the pace of production was slow. Each piece was unique, a testament to the individual skill of the craftsman. But change was on the horizon. The Agricultural Revolution, a period of significant agricultural development, set the stage for what was to come. Innovations such as the seed drill and the horse-drawn hoe made farming more efficient. Enclosure acts allowed for larger farms, leading to surplus food production. People started moving from rural areas to towns and cities in search of new opportunities. The population grew, and so did demand for goods. Yet, the old ways of producing these goods could not keep up. The artisanal, handcrafted approach was not enough to satisfy the burgeoning demand. It was clear that a new approach was needed, one that could increase production and efficiency. And so, as the 18th century drew to a close, the stage was set for a seismic shift. The old agrarian and artisan-based economy was about to be upended. A new era was dawning, one that would forever change the way goods were produced and the way people lived their lives. The world was ripe for change, and that change came in the form of the Industrial Revolution. The heart of the Industrial Revolution lay in its machines, new innovative inventions that revolutionized production. These weren't just bits of iron and steel bolted together, they were the harbingers of a new age, catalysts of a seismic shift in how the world worked and lived. Let's take a journey back in time, to the late 18th and early 19th centuries, and consider some of these game-changing inventions. First, let's visit the realm of textiles, where the spinning jenny and the power loom reigned supreme. The spinning jenny, invented by James Hargreaves, was a multi-spindle spinning frame that dramatically increased the amount of thread that could be spun at any given time. This not only sped up production, but also reduced the cost of cloth, making it more accessible to the masses. The power loom, on the other hand, was a mechanized loom powered by steam. It was far more efficient than its hand-operated predecessor, weaving fabric at a pace that was simply unthinkable before its invention. This allowed textile manufacturers to meet the growing demand for cloth, and contributed to the rise of the factory system. Then there's the steam engine, arguably the most iconic invention of the Industrial Revolution. This mighty machine, perfected by James Watt, was a versatile workhorse. It powered factories, pumped water out of mines, propelled ships across oceans, and even set locomotives chugging along the earliest railroads. Its impact was truly transformative, extending well beyond the realms of industry and manufacturing. These machines, and others like them, were the engines of progress, the tools that turned the wheels of the Industrial Revolution. They increased production speed and efficiency, pushing us towards an era of mass production and consumption. They were, in every sense, the machines of change. These machines were the catalysts of change, driving the world headlong into the industrial age. The Industrial Revolution was not just about machines, it triggered a seismic shift in society and economy. Picture, if you will, a world where the majority of people lived in the countryside working the land. With the advent of the Industrial Revolution, this rural landscape began to change dramatically. The promise of stable jobs and better earnings lured people away from their farms and into the burgeoning cities, where factories sprouted like mushrooms after a spring rain. The population shift from rural to urban was nothing short of revolutionary. Cities swelled in size, their skylines transforming from church steeples and market squares to smokestacks and factory roofs. This urbanization brought about a new way of life, one that revolved around the clockwork rhythm of the factory whistle rather than the rising and setting of the sun. But the shift was not just physical. The Industrial Revolution also birthed new social classes, particularly the industrial middle class. Business owners, managers, and professionals who thrived in the factory system formed this new social stratum. They were the embodiment of a new kind of wealth, not inherited but earned through industry and business acumen. And what of the economy? Well, the Industrial Revolution was like a shot of adrenaline. Production shifted from homes and small workshops to large factories. This mass production led to an unprecedented increase in goods, making them more affordable and available than ever before. In turn, this fueled consumerism, a trend that continues to shape our world today. In the grand scheme of things, the Industrial Revolution was not just a period of technological advancement. It was a pivotal moment that redefined how people lived and worked. It disrupted the old order, ushered in a new one, and laid the groundwork for the modern world. The Industrial Revolution had set in motion forces that would reshape society and economy in ways unimaginable before. But progress often comes at a price. The Industrial Revolution, for all its benefits, had its dark side too. It's easy to marvel at the era's impressive machinery and the sweeping changes it brought, but we mustn't forget the cost at which these advancements came. Factories, the new temples of industry, were far from the safe and regulated workspaces we're accustomed to today. Workers, including children as young as 6, toiled in perilous conditions for punishingly long hours. Safety measures were virtually non-existent, and accidents were a grimly accepted part of daily life. Exploitation was rampant. Laborers worked for meager wages that barely provided for their basic needs. The concept of a working class emerged, a group of people living in conditions that starkly contrasted with the prosperity the revolution was supposed to bring. Child labor in particular was a blight on this era. Children were employed in industries because of their small size, low cost, and supposed manageability. Their innocence was stolen, replaced with the grueling reality of factory life. The environment, too, paid a hefty price. The rise of factories and the increased demand for resources led to a surge in pollution. The air filled with soot and smoke, rivers were tainted with industrial waste, and forests were indiscriminately felled to feed the insatiable appetite of the machines. The noise of the factories was a constant reminder of the cost of progress. The once tranquil sounds of nature were replaced with the relentless clatter of machines. The very essence of life seemed to be drowned out by the ceaseless hum of industry. And then there was the psychological impact. The shift from agrarian life to industrial work was jarring. People were reduced to mere cogs in a vast industrial machine, their worth measured by their productivity. The sense of community that had defined pre-industrial society was eroded, replaced by a culture of competition and alienation. The Industrial Revolution, while a beacon of progress, cast long and often troubling shadows. It's a stark reminder that progress, while often necessary, must be tempered with a keen awareness of its potential costs and consequences. The echoes of the Industrial Revolution reverberate to this day, shaping our present and future. This epoch marked by steam, iron, and coal didn't simply fade away. Its impact, like ripples in a pond, extended far beyond the confines of the 18th and 19th centuries, reaching into the heart of our modern era. The Industrial Revolution laid the groundwork for the world as we know it today. It set the stage for a cascade of technological advancements that continue to accelerate at an unprecedented rate. From the steam engine to the internet, from the loom to artificial intelligence, each new invention, each leap forward was, in a way, born from the fertile soil of the Industrial Revolution. It wasn't just about machines and factories, though. The Industrial Revolution sparked a profound shift in the way societies function. It led to the rise of urban centers, transforming rural societies into industrial powerhouses. This new urban life brought about significant social changes, setting the stage for social reforms. The rise of labor unions, the fight for workers' rights, the push for gender equality in the workplace. These movements have their roots in the Industrial Revolution. The revolution also laid the foundation for globalization. The ability to mass-produce goods and transport them over vast distances led to unprecedented levels of trade and interaction between nations. The world grew smaller, more interconnected. The global marketplace we know today, it's a direct descendant of this transformative era. The Industrial Revolution, a time of great change and progress, forever etched its mark on the annals of human history. Its legacy is not just the machines we use or the cities we live in, but the very fabric of our modern world. From our technology to our societies, from our economy to our global connections, the echoes of the Industrial Revolution continue to shape our present and our future.